We all know, as MMA fans, Nate Diaz likes to talk a bit of rubbish. He says things he doesn't really mean, and he tries to stir the pot. Okay, but I am here to tell you this. Right, this is my thoughts. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Roundhouse Rants channel. This is where I speak my mind and I try and get points across. Whenever like there's a topic I find in MMA and it really intrigues me. I'm worried about this though. Nate Diaz came out and he's been acting very weird all week. You can tell he doesn't want to fight Chimaev. You can just tell, I think he's lost his last few fights. He doesn't seem as mentally tough and mentally sound as always. Like he's going on about how he's real and all this and how the UFC are forcing him to fight Chimaev and all this and that. That's what happens when you badmouth the UFC. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know. But let me tell you this. Okay? I'm actually thinking that Diaz is in danger. He came out and said, "Oh, I gave up. I gave up training, or I gave up preparing. Beat me up, beat me up." I think Nate Diaz is going to get into the cage, be doing his usual thing, like bad facing his opponent, and I think he's going to come out with a different strategy this time. He typically stands and he waits and he gets chopped a bit and he gets punched a little bit. I think he's going to actually stand there and try and just come at him straight away. Then he's going to get really badly hurt. You know what I mean? The punch on Leon Edwards that he landed was when Leon Edwards knew he'd won. Leon had switched off mentally and he got caught. He admits to that. Diaz did well to catch him. The fight before that, Anthony Pettis, didn't really have much power for him, so he walked right through it. Masvidal, as well, had a bit more power at welterweight, could keep him at bay, but couldn't put him away. McGregor, he came up from featherweight. You know what I mean? So this is a different breed of opponent. Khamzat Chimaev is massive for welterweight. He's fucking huge for welterweight. I think he's going to be the most powerful guy Diaz has ever fought, the most hungry guy Diaz has ever fought, and a Chechen killer. He has literally come up from nothing. He lived in his gym for months. Shitty lifestyle, shitty everything, and all he knows is this. Diaz has everything now. Diaz is fine. I think he's in danger. I think he's going to get really badly hurt. Obviously, there's a puncher's chance. There's a chance Diaz could come out, withstand it, tire him out. That's his only really method of victory here. I can see Chimaev not knocking him out. I can see Chimaev not submitting him. I can see the doctor stopping it. I can see the referee saying enough's enough, you're not fighting back, you're literally not even throwing punches. That's kind of how I see this fight going. I can see Chimaev putting everything into it in the first, really badly hurting him, Diaz barely defending himself. And then I can see Diaz just quitting in the cage. I can see Nate Diaz just saying, "Fuck this shit, I'm too real for it," and quitting in the cage. I don't know if I should actually make a prediction video, but I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to have to do that next. I'm going to have to say it how it is. I think Nate Diaz is going to quit in the cage. And you can say, "But he's a real gangster, this and that." He's not really he kind of like throws his toys out the pram a little bit, in my opinion, and he gets like all stroppy, like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, motherfucker, I'm too real for this," and he's not intelligent. Remember, he's really quite thick, really quite stupid, and that typically with this type of person, when they're this high stature, this popular, this much money, they think, what do you mean? What do you mean? No. You can see it all the time. You see it, you know. He's they call him the gangster because he had a few wars with McGregor, and previously he was fighting anybody anytime. He was on a 12-12 contract for all of that, though. Remember, before McGregor, he was making 24,000 if he fought and won. He was poor, pretty much, right? So obviously you have to pay for training, you have to pay your bills, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for everything, right? He was better off fighting all the time. That's why they called him a gangster. Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz are actually crybabies, in my opinion. Like, I know he'd slap the fuck out of me, whatever. Back to my original point. I think he's in grave danger, right? I think he's in over his debt. Saying he gave up training kind of says it all. I know fighters make jokes about stuff, and I know he kind of just says those random stuff, and you hear fighters saying, "Oh, I haven't trained for this fight," and all this and that. "I don't need to train." I would never believe it typically, but the fact that Nate Diaz is literally saying, fucking beat me up, kind of suggests if it starts not going his way, like most Nate Diaz fights, when it doesn't go his way, he survives, he toughs it out. I think it's going to be a very long night for Nate, but then I also think he won't be fucked. I think he'll be like, right, I've been fucking battered all my fights. If this guy starts whipping my ass, whipping me, fuck it, I'm out. Fuck the UFC. I'll go fight Jake Paul. You know, that's my take on it. I'm extremely worried about Diaz, mainly because I think he's too tough for his own good. Max Holloway's too tough for his own good, but then he also is a bit more intelligent than Diaz. But Diaz gets dropped. Diaz gets hurt. He gets cut. Chimaev is so strong. He is so good, right? The volume he was throwing against Gilbert Burns was incredible, right? You can say this about Holloway and you can say this about Nate Diaz. Both of their volumes are incredible, right? But they don't throw with the same intent as Chimaev. Chimaev will throw hard and to kill every single shot for as long as he can, and mentally he won't break. Kind of similar to Usman, but Usman's kind of he doesn't have pillow fists. I know he knocked out Jorge, but like it's not the same. It's not like when he cracks you, you're like, oh fuck. Like he lands good shots because he hits hard and he's got volume, but he wears you down and then lands. Chimaev will just come after you trying to kill you, and we've seen that in the Burns fight. He got dropped. He's like, fuck you, give it back. And he was obviously he's just gonna have been improving since that fight. 3 rounds of a war in the UFC at that high of a level on that big of a stage does so much. Don't make a habit of getting into wars. Don't make a habit of getting battered like Diaz has. I think Diaz isn't going to make a habit of it. Diaz is going to say, I'm getting battered all the time. Fuck it. I'm not training. I barely trained. I quit training because I just know what the UFC are setting me up. That's his mindset. It's weird. Oh, I know the UFC are setting me up. I didn't even want to fight this guy, so I'm just not going to train. Fuck them. That's scary. That's dangerous. He's saying, oh well, screw them. He's doing it to himself. Like, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. I actually just don't even know what to say.